So people wonder why we call it text tonality. And a matter of fact, I had a conversation this morning with an advisor who was talking with compliance, and he was getting back to me saying that he's not able to use text messaging unless he uses hearsay. And I said, we don't text message anyone. And so text tonality is because the language is in a text tone, is really what it is. How many of you have gotten messages that come in paragraphs? I got 2 or 3 this morning myself. Paragraphs. I mean, not just 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. I mean, who's got time for that? I didn't get to the end. I just deleted it. And that's what happens. Missed opportunities. A lot of deleting going on.
I think I'm able to share now, actually. So
You
what
did
I'm
very
pulling
good.
up here, it's pretty slick, isn't it? Just had to finagle it a bit. I see. All right. So one of our biggest clients, and this guy is from a wirehouse, closed a $113 million deal with a prospect who had just sold his business. And 200 million of real estate is overseas. He's going to get 200 million from him as well. So this could end up being, or should have ended up being, about a $300 million client for this guy. And what's really, really impressive is this was the first guy that we found for our client Tom on LinkedIn. And that's what really a powerful Sales Navigator search will do. And we have other people like this too. Tom again. Corbin, he was another one of our clients, just closed the 3rd client, actually help 100K now, 3 million next year, right? So I'm showing you this just to show you why you should listen to us, why we're able to do what we're able to do. You can see here, this is another one of our clients, Edward, new clients coming in. He's actually got more. This was from, I think, 2023, 2022, right? This guy got a $2 million client, but in 2 years it'll be $8 million. This guy, $4 million client, liquid. Again, Edward, again, talking about how his first 5 new relationships were 6.8 million. Let's see, Tammy's a tax advisor. She 3x'd her money with us in 30 days, or no, I'm sorry, 3 months. So it was 30K for her, which was really cool. Another one of our clients, Rochelle, she's in Canada. $1 million client. She actually has closed probably over 10 million with us since working with us, which is great. So yeah, all of these are on TextTonality.com. Feel free to take a look at these. Tons of testimonials, a demo of what we do. So anyway, you guys are here today because you want to learn a little bit more about Sales Navigator. You want to get into the nitty gritty of Sales Navigator. And so I had a Google Doc that I wanted to pull up, and I'm going to bring it up on this screen because it was giving me a hard time. So give me 1 second. We'll pull that up, put that on the screen so we can have a little structure around where we're going to go today, because that's really the key.
Yeah, the reason we're doing Sales Navigator Secrets, and we hear it all the time. We hear about advisors subscribing to Sales Navigator and then canceling their subscription, and then subscribing, trying to work it out. The complication of using it, connecting it with there's 2 different platforms there. It's kind of a pain. And so Mike wants to clear some of this up for you and give you some useful information and something you can apply. So yeah, Mike, show him some. You're not gonna tell him all the secrets, right? You're just gonna give him some of the secrets, right?
I'll give him as much as we can. We got some time available today. I'll give him as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
All right, so we're gonna start with the power of LinkedIn and high net worth lead generation and optimize. So before we even get into Sales Navigator, 2 really important things. I don't care whether you have the best Sales Navigator list in the world, you need to have a great profile. You need to speak and resonate with every single client that you, or potential client that you connect with. So one of the biggest things that I see that people miss all the time is they set up their profile like a resume, right? Their headline just has financial advisor or wealth advisor, whatever, private wealth advisor, right? And then the about section's full of, their Forbes and Barron's list and all this stuff. And listen, that stuff's great. I'm not dogging any of that, right? I think that stuff is great. I think having credentials is excellent, and it gives you, good credibility. But at the same time, too, your prospects don't care about where you went to school, how many awards you've won, and what your title is. They care about, does this person know how to solve my big problem? And those problems are, tax exposure, exiting my business, managing my money, being able to delegate my financial advising, things like that, right?
Liquidity
So
events.
liquidity events, exactly. Tax exposure on liquidity events, RSU, stock options, NSOs, et cetera, right? Whatever you specialize in. And you don't have to, you can be a jack of all trades, but if you find that you have one specific client type that you like to work with, that's a huge, huge difference maker. And that's something that you can narrow in on. And guess what? When you narrow in on someone, you become the specialist. And I'm sure you've heard this all the time: niche, niche, niche. The niche doesn't always have to be the person. It does not have to be the person. It doesn't have to be executives or business owners or pre-retirees or nurses or whatever. It could be the problem that you solve, right? The problem that you solve could be like RSUs and stock options and tax exposure around liquidity events, right? You could specialize in that area, which affects a lot of people, right? Anyone with a liquidity event, it could be, like I said, I'm going to use this example again, RSUs and stock options, right? Those are big liquidity events. But a business exit is also considered a liquidity event, right? So that could be sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
So just remember one thing too. Whenever you have a client, they came to you for one thing normally. One problem was on their mind. That was the big thing. But then when they became your client, you get to know each other. Well, did you do other things for them? Absolutely. Absolutely. So what we have to remember here, what the objective here with LinkedIn and doing some marketing and some outreach is to start the conversation. Okay. And we don't go out with a menu. We're not going to go out with a menu of things that I can do. I can do this, this. I mean, everyone has a list of services on their website, right? All the different services so that they have a menu to choose from. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to elicit a response. That's all we need to do here is elicit a response, start a conversation. And that's why Mike is saying we must narrow down with the problem to go out there and start the conversation. Right, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I want to do is I want to show you really quickly one of my favorite profiles that we worked on. And this is one of our former clients, Morris. I'm sure Morris would if he was here, he'd say really great things. But a couple of things that we did for Morris. Number one, we optimized his headline right here. We optimized banner, headline, and about section. And we'll go through all these very, very quickly because I know you're here for Sales Navigator Secrets, but this is very important. Setting a foundation. Okay. So number one, banner. And this all kind of plays together. So one of the things that Morris loves to do is he loves to help business owners with their exit planning. So Morris kept on telling me in our first calls, he was saying, Mike, I hear my clients say this all the time, quantum leaps. They want to create a quantum leap in wealth. Well, guess what? We came up with the term quantum business exit for him. Just like I have TextTonality right here, quantum business exit is his intrigue, something new and novel his clients need, right? What is this quantum business exit? How can he help me? Well, quantum. I always think about quantum leaps, business exit. I want to exit my business. Boom, put them together. Right. So quantum business exit, number one, right? Partnering with business owners to reduce taxes when exiting and protect wealth with exclusive alternative investments. Sounds intriguing. I'm going to read a little bit more, right? And when Morris sends his connection request, three things pop up: profile picture, handsome guy, his name, and of course his headline. Now, if his headline just said CEO of Trinity Capital Management, you'd be like, great, another guy who's, financial advisor. But no, when he pops up, it says partner with business owners to reduce taxes and protect wealth when exiting using my proprietary quantum business exit. Whoa. All of a sudden, there's something different. Morris has differentiated himself from every financial advisor out there because he narrowly focuses on one type of client, business owners exiting. He has a proprietary way of solving it, something new and novel that you've never heard of before. And he's hitting the key pain points: business exits and reducing tax exposure. Makes you want to click on his profile, makes you want to connect with them, right?
But Mike, I help lots of different people. I can hear all of you saying, I hear a lot of financial advisors, but I can help so many different people. Can we go after more people? We can. We can set up, multiple campaigns. But here's the thing. When you do it this way, you elicit a response, okay? And you get the conversation started.
Yep. And so you see, okay, great. Well, how does he do it, right? And instead of going into how great he is, this reads like an article that you simply can't put down. Is Uncle Sam standing between you and exiting your business? You know you can sell your business for a high multiple. Ooh, but I gotta hit the C more because I'm speaking directly to you, the prospect. I'm speaking to you, and you're saying right now, you know what? Uncle Sam is standing between me and my business exit. And I do want to sell for a high multiple. All right, Morris, what do you got for me? Right. You know how your lifestyle drastically change over time. Yeah, it keeps getting better, keeps getting better. Again, it's cascading down. It's making you want to read more. And it's leading you to the proprietary quantum business exit, right? So immediately the person reading this says, Morris has something new and novel. He's hitting all the key pain points. And not only that, he knows my problem and is talking about it in the exact same tone that I would talk about it in my own mind. He's entering the conversation in my own mind. Why wouldn't I trust this guy? Right? When you can articulate a prospect's problem better than they can, that's when you build instant trust. Credentials, titles, where you went to school are great. It adds to your credibility. Reviews, testimonials is great. But you'll never build more trust than by telling someone their exact problem right back to them and articulate it better than they can. They know right away that you can solve that problem because you know the problem just as well as they do.
You become a possibility. See, you're a stranger out there for your new connections and a lot of people out there on LinkedIn world. So this stranger, why would I give you 30 minutes of my day? Why would I enter into your world? Well, just because what Mike just said, we have to look like we are a really good possibility. Maybe on the outside, without meeting Morris first, you might say, who knows if Morris is, but you know what? He's looking better and better every second. The more I look at Morris, the more he looks like he could help me. So you're open now to the next step of conversation. Okay. And so that's the key here. And Mike, great intro for the profile. And again, why is Mike telling you this before he gets into all the secrets of Sales Navigator? Again, it's just going to amplify your results. Okay. And that's what you're really looking for. You're not really looking for Sales Navigator secrets, although they're great tips. Don't get me wrong, but you're really looking for the end result.
Yep. 100%. So with that said, let's dive into Sales Navigator. So the big things that we're looking at here, and I'm just going to switch over to this one real quick. Understanding Sales Navigator, we'll do a quick key features overview, and then I'm going to go really into building advanced search tactics, talking about title, seniority, industry focus, right? Geography, buoy. This is a big one. Boolean search and keyword mastery. This is one that people miss a lot, right? And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about KPIs to track, measure ROI from your Sales Navigator, all that good stuff. But any questions so far, by the way, before I just jump right into Sales Navigator, any questions from the group at this point about what we're doing, what we're talking about, maybe anything specific that you guys want us to cover in terms of Sales Navigator searches? Feel free to drop a comment below. I'm here to help you guys, right? I want you guys to get the most out of this presentation, and I'll do my best to deliver. So.
Yeah, if you're giving your time, we appreciate your time, and we're giving ours. So yeah, if there's any thoughts, questions, even if it's not Sales Navigator, we'll do our best.
Yeah. There might be a little bit of a delay, so we'll just get kind of jumping right into it, obviously, with Sales Navigator. So we'll just make sure we're on the right screen. All right, cool. So there's a couple different tactics we could do with Sales Navigator. One of my favorites, I'll start with this one because this one's kind of cool. I just started doing this the other day, and this is like brand new. This is a little bit more tactical, and it's if you're going for specific company and revenue sizes, like if you're looking for really big accounts. So there's two different filters that you can use for Sales Navigator. There's lead filters, which you're looking for like individuals with lead filters. With account filters, you're looking at big businesses, right? The business size, business revenue, et cetera. But I'll show you how to get to lead filters from your account filters. So I'll start with that first. Again, I'm kind of diverting a little bit, but this one, Dad, like this one's super, super cool. Hold on. I got Adam here. I have a niche done Sales Navigator book one. hone in on messaging and the right way to start a conversation. Cool. We can address that a little bit later on in the program here. So let's jump into accounts. So this is really cool. Did I show you this before, by the way?
I'm sure you have.
All right. Well, I'm going to show you again. All right. So
No need.
annual revenue. This is really cool, by the way. So under account filters, you can go by annual revenue. So let's just say you're looking for a business between $1 million all the way up to, let's say, 50 million. Okay. So $1 million to 50 million in revenue. Company headcount doesn't really matter, right? Unless you need a specific company headcount, that's fine. Company headquarters, headcount growth, we don't really need that. Headquarters location, let's go United States. Industry, let's say we're going to do, let's pick a good one here. Let's go defense and space manufacturing, right? That's a pretty hot industry. You can go by number of followers if you want, department headcount growth. I don't really think these are necessary. Technology use is interesting if you're selling like certain like specific softwares, things like that. Again, I don't really need this particularly for our stuff. Maybe if you're like in Facebook ads and if you want to find a company that's doing Facebook ads or needs help with their Facebook ads, that would make sense. But let's go over here, job opportunities, recent activities, senior leadership changes, right? That could actually be really interesting for some of our financial advisors. They have senior leadership changes, 138. So let's just pop that in there. Companies, let's see, we're going to save accounts lists. Okay. So this is a pretty good search, right? 138 results, and we're getting people between 1 million and 50 million in revenue. Obviously, this company is a little bit higher, 50 to 100 million in revenue. Now, here's where we can go and find the senior leadership of all these companies, which is really cool. So we're going to select all 25. There's 25 per page, so you can go, there's multiple pages, but I'll show you what you do from here. So what I like to do is I like to take this, view current employees. I like to open that in a new tab. So that way I keep this page open. I don't lose my spot here. And I move over to this tab. Now this tab, it just put all of those companies that I know are doing between 1 million and 50 million in revenue, right? So we go over here. Now I got operations manager, I got director of marketing communications. I got 7,000 results in here. It's great. Now I can home in on this. All right. So let's home in on this one.
Switch.
Sorry, what were you saying?
The other screen, is that where you saw the 7,000 results?
Oh, sorry. I didn't switch over. Here we go.
There we go.
See it now?
Yes.
All right. 7,000 results from these companies. So I got 25 companies in here, all doing, between 1 million and 50 million in revenue in the defense, space, manufacturing industry. So now what we're going to do.
If you guys see up in the top right corner there, 7K plus results. Yeah.
Yes. There we go. All right. So, but we want to narrow this list down because not everyone in here is going to be a good fit. So let's say you wanted to find just senior leadership C-suite execs from this group. Well, a couple ways of doing it. My favorite way is to go C-suite, obviously, CXO. And let's see, we have 152 results for this one. Chief financial officer, been in the business for 1 to 2 years. Let's see here. Again, I'm being, I'm trying to help our financial advisors in this group. But like you can see this guy right here, U.S. Navy, contracts negotiator, senior manager, was with this company for 12 years, founded his own. Looks like he's got a little side gig as well. And now he's chief financial officer of this group right here. So pretty solid lead, I would say.
Yeah, does well. I would imagine there's some assets there.
Yep. And that's what we're looking for, is people who have assets, right? People who appear to have assets. This guy right here, again, bounced around a few times.
So I had a conversation again. I think it was last night with an advisor, and he was asking me how I can specifically find these folks on LinkedIn with assets. He goes, you're not going to send me leads. I've done lead generation before, and they send me leads, and the guy doesn't have any money, and they don't have, he's got assets, but it's all in his house. And I said to him, we're not asking that question, but what we are going to do is create a list of those who are very likely to have $1 million in investable assets or more. And Mike, how many times have we had our clients tell us, Boy, I just had a call with a guy who had X amount, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. We had one of our clients said, you guys won't believe it. This guy has $500 million, 500 million. I mean, what were the chances of that one?
That was
Anyway,
a young kid from Merrill too,
yep,
28, 29 years old. Crazy.
crazy.
I know there was a quick question in here. Will there be a recording? I believe there will be a recording. If for some reason, software glitches out on me because I've never used this streaming platform before. If it doesn't, ping me, Ryan. I'll find a way to get some training over to you. And I think that LinkedIn stores this on the LinkedIn Live anyway. And then for James, yes, you do have to pay for Sales Navigator. The plan that you'd want, by the way, because there's two different plans, you want Sales Navigator Core, by the way. Don't get LinkedIn Premium. Don't get LinkedIn Business. Sales Navigator Core. I think they give you a month for free when you first sign up. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys that there. All right. So as you can see here, these folks, founder and chief. Now, again, you want to take a look at this. Let's see here. Red 6. Yeah, 10 to 20 million. Perfect. Right? I mean, military pensions, etc. I mean, really great stuff. I mean, this is a really good list. I'm like eating this up for our clients, Dad. All right. So let's say
what other titles, Mike, would you do?
I was gonna say there's people outside the C-suite too. You don't just need C-suite. So let's go like director level, VP. You can go owner partner for this one too. Not that one. Sorry, senior level. Now look at this list. Now I have 4,500 results for this list, right? And okay, let's look at this guy here just for an example. Global Business Development Manager. Let's see. All right, not too bad actually. This is, you know what? And this is the way I look at it too. It's hard to judge a book by its cover, but if you see someone who's bounced around, they're with a pretty big company, and I look for industries that have a lot of wealth in them. So like defense and space manufacturing. That kind of leads me to one of the other things that I look at is the filters around industry. So let me open up a new tab here. I'll show you what I mean, right? So I'm going to start one from scratch. So let's go over to lead filters for a second, because I just showed you the account, how you move over to leads. Let's go through this leads filter, and I'll give you kind of like the things that I look for. So let's say I don't have a specific company type that I'm looking for, right? So what I like to do is, let's say I'm looking for, again, I'm just going to use the idea of people with RSUs, stock options, etc., right? So I want to look for, and let's say I want to go tech companies and pharmaceutical manufacturing. Again, two big industries. So I'll go 10,000 plus, maybe 5 to 10,000 employees. I like to go company type, public company, because they have stock options. I'll also go current job title in some cases if I'm looking for someone specific. But for the most part, I'm looking for director level, C-suite, VP. The positions most likely to get equity compensation plans. Years in current company, I would say 3 to 5, 6 to 10, more than 10 years. Now, that's not going to be enough. You want to couple it with their experience. So I go 10 years plus of experience too, because I want people who are a little bit on the older side. Let's just say you're looking for people who are closer to retirement, right? So we're going to plug that in there. Now we're going to go industry, okay? Let's look at, say, pharmaceutical manufacturing, software development, medical equipment manufacturing, let's see here, IT services and consulting, defense and space manufacturing. There you go. So I'm just going to plug in my computer here.
310,000 results.
Yep. Oh, we're not even done. We're just getting started. Geography. Let's go. Let's say you wanted folks in your state. Let's just go Texas, for an example. If I could spell it, that'd be great. Let's just go Texas for an example. Big state, 11,000 results. Beautiful. Let's see. What am I missing here? Dad? No, I think that's about it. All right. So let's look at this guy. VP, Deputy of Strategy and Business Development, Land Forces, Missiles, Fire. It's an important guy at Lockheed Martin. Been with Lockheed for 11 years. U.S. Army for 8 years. Let's see. Joint Staff Branch, Force Development, 1 year. And then the United States Army again for a year. And truth be told, too, there's also, you're not going to get someone's full past on LinkedIn. Like, they're going to go back as far as they want. But, he probably had other positions before 2002. He looks and I don't know this guy, but looks a little bit older, right? He could be in his 50s, 60s, perhaps. I assume that there's probably more to his story than 2002 to 2003, right? So, Pops, were you going to mention something?
No, I was just thinking that how long would it take you to go through 11,000 results? Just 11,000. If you invited 200 of these connections to record and requested they connect with you 200 per week, it would take you 55 weeks to get through all of them. Yeah,
that's quite a bit. It's a long time.
It's a little over a year, but of course, it's not that this is the only list for you. You could also make more lists.
Yeah, exactly. And this is only, how many industries do we do? This is 5 industries in one state.
In one state.
Check out what I do United States. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah. Well, this is going to blow up
tremendously. And again, only 5 industries, 140,000 results. Now I could get really narrow and focused on this one. Let's just get rid of director. Let's go VP and C-suite, for an example. Senior Global Vice President of Workday.
So take you 13 and a half years to get through that last list.
Yeah. And this is perfect, again, if you're targeting folks with stock options, RSUs, equity compensation plans. This guy right here, it's funny, I see this guy in all of our searches. VP and CISO at Paychex. Pretty big name right there, VP. He's been around the block. I've seen this guy's profile like a million times. Let's see here. This guy, VP, CIO office, program management. Now, I have to say this, not every single Sales Navigator search is perfect, right? You will have some folks that, slip through the cracks from time to time, and that's okay. That is okay. If you get a search that is 95% high quality, then you're doing a really good job. We're doing a really good job. How's everyone feeling so far? Is this what you signed up for? Is this what you were looking for? Because I know this is exactly what we do day in and day out with clients. We just build searches like this with really, really high quality folks. And we vet too. Like, we look at each search and we're like, all right, does this person look good? Do they check all the boxes that we're looking for? Do they have experience? Have they bounced around in a couple different places? Do they look like they have assets? Do they look like they've accumulated assets under management, right? Like I said, I want to hear from you guys. Is this what you signed up for? Is this exactly what you guys are looking for today? Because I got more. I got plenty more.
Type away, guys. Let us hear it.
Yep. And again,
gals. There could be some gals out there, Mike. I don't know.
If there are, great. More the merrier. Guys and gals, everybody. You're okay with us. What do you think, Dad? I think we've done a pretty good job with the RSU stock options. I feel like I've really beat it into the ground here. Maybe we should try a different search group. What do you think?
You know what? I hear this a lot. It's not my favorite, but I hear it a lot. Okay. And doctors and dentists.
Ooh.
You ever do that, Mike?
Yeah.
How many people go up to the doctor's dentist? Do those guys actually look at their LinkedIn?
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So here's where I go with this one. Company headcount. I don't like to go self-employed too often. Now, here's the other thing too you want to keep in mind. When you do a search in Sales Navigator and you're looking at company headcounts, you got to factor this into play. You set up your company page back in 2013 and you add employees over time. Well, your company headcount, you set that when you start your page. So don't exclude some of the smaller company headcounts because the company actually might be bigger than you think over time. LinkedIn's just going off of what's it called? what you first gave it. So what I would do is I would go 1 to 10 employees, 11 to 50. You could even add self-employed just for kicks and giggles. We'll just do that on this search here, just for fun. All right, company type. Let's go privately held, partnership, self-owned. Again, just we can always adjust these as time goes on. Current job title. Now, I used to be bearish on looking for doctors and dentists on LinkedIn. But what I found was they actually do check LinkedIn every once in a while, which is interesting because a lot of them are selling their practices too. Another quick thought. So here's the current job titles that you're looking for. Dentist, general dentist, pediatric dentist. And pediatric dentist might not be the best one, but we're just going to throw that in there. Cosmetic dentist, right?
How about orthodontics?
No, I'm getting to that. Don't worry.
Oh,
Oral
all
surgeon.
right.
Dental surgeon. Orthodontist. Doctor. Medical. Doctor. Surgeons are great too, by the way. Surgeon. Orthopedic surgeon. General surgeon. Plastic surgeon. Huge. Cardiovascular. Where is this? Sometimes you have to really search for it, right? Cardiovascular surgeon.
Brain surgeon.
Oh, neuro. Yeah. That would be neurosurgeon or neurologist. There we go. You can even throw chiropractor in there. Why not? Is that how you spell it? How do you spell chiropractor?
You missed the R. Chiro.
Oh, chiropractor. There you go.
Okay.
Let's see here. And we'll just use that for the time being. Or actually, let's go a couple more. Physician.
Yeah.
My spelling is horrible. Family physician. There we go. That's the one we're looking for. All right, let's see here. 200,000 results. Now we got to narrow this down. Let's go years in current company. Let's say, again, you want to go more than 10 years. They've owned the practice for a while. Now, for this one, too, you could even go years in current position, right? If they own the practice. But we're just going to keep it at years in current company for this one. Geography, let's go United States. Industry. This one, you can go back and forth on a little bit because you don't necessarily need industry as much if you have the job title, right? In this particular case, right, the company size is small enough. You don't really need the industry. You can use the industry if you want. And if you do the industry, medical practices, physicians.
Yeah, I would say don't even do that, really, right? Because you've already got, if you got the title.
Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it doesn't. It really depends, right? It depends on what, like, really, really how narrow you want to go. But yeah, it's this is a pretty good search right here. 2,500 results. Let's see. This guy's been chiropractor for over 25 years. There you go. This one caught my attention. California kidney specialist. Now, this is interesting. This is really funny, by the way. You'll notice this guy. Let's see here. You'll notice that he doesn't have a banner. He doesn't have a headline. And sometimes these are the best prospects because most people that I talk to, they're like, oh, well, do you use the change jobs in the last 30 days? Do you do the posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days? And I say no, because people who are posting on LinkedIn, they're probably trying to sell you on something. They're actively on LinkedIn prospecting themselves, right? Or they're looking to promote something. But the ones that are kind of stealthy with their LinkedIn, they're checking their LinkedIn, but they don't post, right? Those are great prospects because they're getting fed all the spammy messages. They're getting fed all the spammy connection requests, right? Filled with powder puff messages. By the way, we don't do that with TextTonality. Our TextTonality messages are very clear, concise, right? They use 3 elements: pain, intrigue, subliminal call to action. And that compels prospects to ask you for a meeting. But we'll get to that later.
So you could see how important the message is now, right? Now that you have this very precise target, we're not doing the marketing, I'm going to say cast a net. We're not net casters. We're more like spear fishermen because we're getting a precise target, and then we're going to have a precise message. And the message is going to talk about the pain point. So if they don't have the pain point, if they're tickled pink, Mr. Financial Advisor, with their financial plan, then it's not really very advantageous for you to meet with them anyway. So they'll just politely say no, thank you. By the way, most people are not very upset at all with our outreach messages. They actually just reply back, hey, no thanks, best of luck, all the best, nice to connect. Very polite, most people. And so it's really, I don't know, it's a nice experience, really. And but the interesting part is those who are uncomfortable today with their financial plan, well, they'll look at you and they say, wow, he took the time to actually, he truly understands me and my problem. And he's got a unique solution. And the message wasn't a powder puff, side door, annoying message like I'm impressed with your profile. We know that's false flattery, right? Or I'm impressed with what you've done at XYZ company, which we also know was a false flattery because they didn't even look at what you did at your profile. They're looking for coffee chats and synergy and sending paragraphs talking about themselves. That's what gives LinkedIn the bad name, right? But we don't go out like that. We have a very concise text-like tone message. You keep it brief, keep it to the point, and that actually shows that you have respect for other people's time, believe it or not. And they sense that right away.
Mm-hmm. I see Adam dropped a comment here. Creating leads list has been great for me. Great to connect. Always trying to figure out how many people really follow up at a time without being spammy. Great question. So the key to and this is one of the things that we do with our clients, is our follow-up messages are not designed to, again, we don't reiterate the point in the first message. All of our messages are designed to just simply point up at the original message. I don't want to divert the conversation off the original message. I want to move them back to that first message. I want them to see the pain, the intrigue, and the subliminal call to action in the first message. You'd be surprised at how many people respond to our second message and are like, totally forgot to get back to you. I'm so sorry. By the way, I'd love to learn more. Or they say, hey, I saw the message. I have questions about X, Y, and Z about your message. I have questions about how it works.
It's fascinating. It almost seems like they're thanking us for the reminder. And if they don't thank us for the reminder, they mainly just say, hey, no thanks. No thanks. Great to be connected. All the best.
I got one here, Jonathan. If I hire you, can you make me invisible? All their vendors like you. Yeah, because their messages aren't very good. No wonder you want to be invisible. It actually is possible. It is possible, Jonathan. The only downside is if I make you invisible to those vendors, then your visibility on LinkedIn isn't very good, which doesn't really affect the outreach portion if you're doing direct outreach on LinkedIn, but it does make your visibility. It hurts you in some ways, but it also hides you from, vendors who are, not as good as us.
Here's the thing too, Jonathan, if you were to work with us, you really wouldn't have to pay too much attention to your LinkedIn at all, because we are a concierge, done for you, white glove, and we handle all pretty much your whole LinkedIn for you. And so you really wouldn't have to pay attention to it. We'll pay attention to it for you and then book the meetings for you.
I have another comment in here. Can you please show a few examples of messages from your campaigns that worked well? I'd love to, but people pay us a lot of money for that. Not a lot of money, I should say. They pay us money for that. So I'd love to show you messages, but that's our secret sauce. There's a reason why Colonel Sanders didn't give away the recipe, at least not to people who weren't paying. So unfortunately, I'd love to share that with you. If you become a client, I'm happy to talk about that with you.
Yeah, Mike gave away the secret, really, if you think about it. Okay, so
Yeah.
our messages are very text-like. We're talking about the pain point. Now, there is little words and things that we've learned. There's structure that we've learned. There's words that we've learned. I mean, this has taken years and years to really create. I mean, you think to yourself, if you saw them, you'd be like, that's it? It's that simple? Well, there's a structure and there's particular words that we use that we've learned that are powerful. There is a little bit of the sequence, so you do have to have the pain point, and you have to have that precisely worded, and then you'll have a unique solution, which is the intriguing part. And then Mike's already talked about the subliminal call to action, which I'll give you a little secret here. The subliminal call to action is no call to action at all, because he says he leaves you on a cliffhanger. So what happens is the one person or the people who are the folks that are interested, they're kind of sitting there looking at you thinking, are you going to tell me anything else? I mean, you can't just leave me here with that. I do have this problem, and I am interested. You're going to force me to tap my keyboard and ask you for more information, aren't you? Yes, I am. And that's how it works. Yeah. So listen, that's pretty much it. But yeah, like Mike said, to get the full exact wording, yeah, that's for our clients.
Yep. But let's transition back to Sales Navigator. Okay. So one of the things that we wanted to go over was using keyword searches and keyword mastery, right? I think that's something that is really important. I think a lot of people miss that when it comes to Sales Navigator. So I'm going to go back here. You guys can see my screen. Let's find business owners who have exited their business, right? And business owners are not shy about talking about their exits. So a couple keywords I like to use: exited, or, and this is key, putting the or exited founder, or acquired by, or.
Ooh, you're giving them some good secrets here, Michael.
I know. I'm a bad business partner.
Giving it away.
We still got to refine it. Okay, now current job title. A lot of these folks, actually, what I like to do is I like to go past job title because they were a founder in the past. So founder, owner, co-owner,
co-founder,
president. Yep. CEO. All right. This will start slowly taking shape. Let's go geography. Let's go United States. And let's say you wanted to, let's just say you wanted to do, I don't know, software development, just as an example. Now, a lot of these folks do get into private equity and venture capital, so you may want to put that in there as well. Venture capital, private equity. Now, some of their current job titles, right? They might be board member, chairperson, sometimes board trustee, right? That's just a couple examples. All right, so let's see here. 2,000 results. Again, there's a couple different ways you can skin this cat, right? So angel investor, guy's an angel investor. You can see here, that's funny. You see this, Dad?
Mention turtles in your invite, or I'll assume spam. Interesting. You had to read his profile to get a good. I like that. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, interesting.
I think, who was it? Jonathan? Was it?
John. Yeah, there you go.
There you go, Jonathan. If you want to avoid some of this stuff, you'll That's one way to block some of the folks.
Yeah. Tell them to comment turtles. All I can think of is that meme where it's like, I like turtles. Remember that little kid?
Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, we could get to the pricing with you. You want to get on a call for that though. I don't want to put it all out here. There's different people, different needs, things like that. But yeah, just book a call and it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, 30 minutes tops. All right, let's see here. David, for an example. So he's in private equity. Let's see, previously serial fintech CEO, 2 past exits as a founder, now investment banker, strategy consultant. There you go. Right. And we can keep on going on and on about this, but let's see here. 8 public companies, committee chair, 8 public companies, yada, yada. Acquired by X, Y, and Z, acquired by, yep. So keyword worked. There you go. Let's see here. Now, sometimes I will say there are folks who talk about helping business owners exit. So you want to be careful of that too, right? There's, that can kind of slip through the cracks a little bit in this. Let's see, including 20 unicorn companies that are collectively worth, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there you go. It's a good one, right? And you would want to play around with the actual like industries too. Like software development's not the only one that you would do. Maybe defense and space. Maybe there's, technology, information, internet. Let's see here. Legal services could be one. Let's see here. Telecom's a good one. Pharmaceutical manufacturing. Actually, most manufacturing is pretty good. Medical equipment manufacturing. And let's refine this list even further. Let's, someone who's exited a business might be a little bit older. Let's go 10 years plus of experience. Also, not every single one of them is going to be a board member too, right? So you might even just get rid of these keywords, open up your search a little bit. Now, one of the things that I like to do, by the way, is I always go second degree connections with my searches because I want people who I have common connections with. Oh, you guys are asking where to go.
Yeah, Mike, I'm working on that. Let me pull that up for him. I want to get a link for them.
Sounds great. All right, so let's take a look at this guy here. Let's see. Previously held sales. Again, some of these we'll have to sift through a little bit here, right? Like that guy wasn't, here we go. 3 successful exits. Boom. There you go. It's perfect. Over 1 billion. Great prospect. You find one of these prospects who's exited a business, could change your world, right? It really could. Serial entrepreneur is another good example of a keyword. Serial. Did I spell that right? Yeah, serial. There you go. Yeah, and a lot of people, by the way, that we talk to, they miss out on using the keyword searches in Sales Navigator, right? So like if you see a certain keyword on a profile that works well and you see that on every single profile of prospects that you're working with, it's like unlocking a key to growth because you're able to find those people more effectively, right? Let's just say I went with just 2 keywords on the search. Let's just say I went exited founder, acquire 2x exit. Let's narrow it down a little bit. Like I would look at someone like let me see here. This guy right here, 3 exits. And I would find what are the keywords that this guy was. using, right? Startup investor, advisor, trustee, philanthropist. You could take all those keywords, put them in here, and you could couple it with like and instead of or, right? Let's just say exited founder and serial entrepreneur. All right, we're getting a little bit more narrow there, but you see the point, right? You can get really, really narrow with 2 keywords that have to be on someone's profile. Let's say you went exited and serial entrepreneur. There we go. 127 results.
Hey, real quick interruption. I just private chatted a Calendly link. Anyone, I think I did it right. I put it in a private chat. It says it's going to go to everybody. Just let me know if you guys see that. It's a Calendly link to book a call.
If you want that, just put it into the here, hold on. I'm just going to grab that link and I'll pop it in to the group on LinkedIn.
Oh,
like the event group.
Yeah, it's just a Calendly link. Guys, if it does get filled up right now, I saw a bunch of openings for Tuesday and Wednesday. If it does get filled up and you can't find a spot, just message me on LinkedIn. Find me on LinkedIn and just message me.
I just commented in the group, put the link in there, so it should be the top comment.
That link I gave you, by the way, is a different link than the one on the website. And if you could use the one I just gave you, that'd be great.
Perfect. All right, so I think we've covered a lot of great searches. These are really good. This one's really good, by the way. 127 results, and again, you can always go a little bit more than you could use different keywords: exited, acquired by, and serial entrepreneur. Right? Doesn't even have to be serial entrepreneur. It could be exited and co-founder, or exited and board member. Right? There's so many different combinations for keywords. That's the beauty of Sales Navigators. There's so many different ways you can find new prospects using this system. So I wanted to talk a little bit about tracking your results, right? And I think that's really, really important for us to talk about. Is you want to be able to track your KPIs with Sales Navigator. And like, what are the KPIs? What are the KPIs that you should be looking for? Well, a few things that I look for, and I'll pull up all right, so you guys can see this, right? So KPIs to track. So some of the KPIs I like to track: accepted connection rate, 25%. So for every person I send a connection request to, I want to get 25. I want to get 25%. So for every 100 connection requests I send, I want to get a 25% connection rate. Just that's 25 new people every single week. If you're sending out 100, getting 25 new people that you message every single week. Now, out of those 25 people that you message, I want to get 20% of those people just to simply reply. Right? What's that?
Positive or negative?
Positive or negative. I want 20% reply rates. And then that should, if I hit those 2 numbers, I should be able to get 1 to 3 new leads that turn into meetings per week. I should get 1 to 3 people every single week that raises their hand and says, yes, I want to meet with you. And that's if you have the right message, right? If you have a good message, and again, even if your message is okay, you should still be getting a couple people a week that raise their hand and say, hey, that sounds interesting. Tell me more. I want to meet. What does it do? How does your process work? How does your system work?
Yeah. So, and I'm going to give you another secret, guys. The things that we've found out and learned is that after someone expresses interest and perhaps even asks questions, your temptation is to tell them everything, tell them a lot. Most of our clients, if left to themselves, will tell way too much, talk too much, say too much, and they fly away. Okay. You need to keep a little bit of intrigue going. So you give them a little bite and then you bring them to a meeting, schedule a call. Okay. That's a big secret, guys. I just gave away a big one.
You did.
Yes.
You did. Crazy. And you thought I was giving away the store. Sorry. I'm messing with you.
But we're very good at it. That is something we are very good at. And, but that's the overall idea. Okay. And that's a big mistake I see people do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100%. I'm pulling up one of our workspaces. So for those of you who don't know, we work specifically with our clients, and we actually manage their outreach for them. We actually create their searches, build out their messaging, rewrite their profile, and then manage their inbox for them. So I wanted to show you just an example of how we track KPIs. And I'm waiting for this workspace to load. It's not loading up as fast as I would have liked it to load, probably because we're streaming here. So give me a second or two, let this thing load up. While I'm letting it load up, any questions, anything that I didn't touch on that you guys would like to talk about or like us to talk about? Because we've been here for about an hour, but I mean, I still got time. I don't got anything else this afternoon, so totally up to you guys. Do you have some profile optimization with your contracts as well? Yes. We rewrite headline, about section. We redo your banner. We actually showed one of what's it called? One of
our clients.
Yeah. So if you go back to the very beginning, I believe this will, John. I think this will be replayed and will be able to be rewatched inside of LinkedIn. I'm almost positive. If it's not, just let us know. Again, we'll talk about that on the call as well. Let's see. Management client LinkedIn accounts. How do you ensure that neither your personal LinkedIn profile or your clients gets banned? How do you differentiate your digital footprint with each client? Wow. Okay. Good questions. So Simple Pipeline. So what's really cool about Simple Pipeline is actually the person who created Simple Pipeline, not us. We did not create Simple Pipeline, but the guy who created it actually has worked very closely with LinkedIn. And I don't think I've ever seen an account get banned from using Simple Pipeline.
Yeah.
The other thing too is we have internal governors inside of Simple Pipeline that make sure that we don't go over the limit of LinkedIn connections, messaging, in-mail, all that stuff. So that's number one. We don't go outside that realm. Funny thing about LinkedIn, and this is a little bit of an insider secret, is they don't mind sometimes having a little automation because you're paying for Sales Navigator. It's kind of a little pay to play sort of deal with LinkedIn these days.
So you haven't heard much about people getting banned anymore. Used to be a big deal. And that really wasn't good for their business. But what happened was there are a number of automation tools. By the way, ours is the best automation tool, but it doesn't really matter. A great automation tool or a bad automation tool doesn't really matter as much as the messaging and targeting. You guys are learning this today. Targeting and messaging is what makes it, whether you do it manually or automated, that's what makes it work. So, but LinkedIn actually does like the automations. They don't give us a hard time. They don't give anyone a hard time. I mean, even if you try to go over, they just stop you. You just stop. The sign comes up and says, you don't have any more this week. So you can't get in trouble. So I haven't seen anyone getting banned at all. What I don't like, I see people making fake profiles, and we don't do that. I think that's bad practice. I think you can get in trouble for that. But for the most part, yeah, there's no banning going on. The other thing you're talking about is how do you differentiate your digital footprint for each client? Do you use specialized browsers?
No, we have an internal proxy Yeah. And most LinkedIn automation tools, I think, have that anyway. I think that people have gotten smart enough to figure out how to use their own, have the proxy already embedded into the tool. So,
so there's been zero problems with that at all. I mean, thankfully, thankfully, there's been zero problems. And I'm not quite sure the full question on the differentiation, but one of the questions, and this might overlap or not, but a lot of clients are sort of asking us sometimes about competition and do you overlap in searches? And yes, well, there'll be some overlaps, but you saw the numbers. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. And you got to remember your connections, okay, your second degree and third degree connections are completely different than everyone else's second degree and third degree. And it's ever changing. So we will refresh your list from time to time, in which case every day it's going to change. There's going to be new second degrees and new third degree connections all the time because you're getting new connections. So it's a very dynamic list. Virtually, it's an inexhaustible list of great ideal targets for you to go after.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take you lifetimes to do, and we only get one.
Yep, exactly. So I wanted to show you guys a quick example of simple pipeline. And I'm actually pulling up one of our client accounts, and she actually has 4 messages in here, which is cool. So we've been running this specific search for, what was that?
Mike, you might just want to use one of ours. I don't know.
Oh, I don't. This one's fine. I'm just showing KPIs. I'm showing numbers.
All right.
Yeah. I can show one of ours if you want, but I mean, this one, the numbers of this one are insane. And this one's been over a year. So we started this one in middle of December of 2023, this particular campaign. And so we're looking for, in this campaign, we're looking for business owners exiting. So this campaign sent out 7,366 connections, right? 2,122 people have accepted. It's a 29% acceptance rate. Again, let's go back to the KPIs real quick, right? KPIs, 25% connection rate, message reply rate, 20%. Okay. So let's go back here. So now here's the thing. It's going off of the total contacted people, right? I don't send a I don't send a message with my connection requests. Okay. That's a big one. I don't do that. So I'm going off of the number of replies to the number of people who have connected. So let's do a little quick math, shall we? Right? 574 divided by 27% reply rate. So I'm well above KPI in both categories. Now, there's other campaigns I'm currently running for this, and I've run a couple of different versions of the campaign, but I've landed on this one being the most effective, right? And I have a couple others running right now as well for in-mails. In-mails is great, by the way. We didn't even talk about in-mails. I can touch on that very quickly, but in-mails is great, especially if you can find people with open profiles. But you can see here, 333 leads in over a 12-month period, 13 months. And there's 11 here, so 344. And then, of course, people who I've marked as customer, right? These are not necessarily leads. These are actually just people that we're not reaching out to anymore. We're just, they're in a separate bucket. They're in the pipeline. So 344 people who have raised their hand and said, yes, I'd like to meet with you, right? That's phenomenal. You don't see that with most clients. You don't see that with these results are pretty abnormal, right? This client right here, her results are very, very abnormal in terms of the amount of messaging she gets back, the amount of prospects that raise their hand. Just really cool stuff. So, you have anything to add?
Nope. Looks great, kid.
Let's see here. Sorry, I got another question. So if your client asks you for more leads from LinkedIn, you're faced with LinkedIn limitations or sending requests, what do you do in this case? Do you recommend asking for another colleague's for? So that's an interesting question. When it comes to getting more leads from LinkedIn, again, our whole deal is a couple good meetings a week. That's what we're looking for. And that's what our clients are looking for. It's just a couple extra good meetings a week. Now some ask us, how do you scale? How do you scale with us, right? And the easy answer is just more profiles. So yes, like if you have colleagues and you have assistants, people on your team. So we have our whole team using LinkedIn, and we book anywhere from, I don't know, what is it, 10 meetings a week, 10 some odd meetings a week from LinkedIn, usually, maybe more.
Yeah, at least, from our team.
Yeah. And everyone on our team uses their LinkedIn profile, and we actually, we book meetings directly. We eat our own food. We book meetings using Facebook and Instagram and whatnot as well. We use paid ads, which is interesting, by the way, because you can take the messaging from LinkedIn and you can use it in paid advertising. That's how we scaled our business, right? It was just me and Dad for the first, 6 to 8 months when we started the business. I used to wake up every morning in my apartment. I used to wake up, I'd pull out my laptop and I'd pull out a second laptop and I'd have connection requests going here. I had connection requests going here. It was all manual. And then I'd copy paste messages here, copy paste messages there. And I would just fill up this guy's calendar with meetings because I was just going bananas on LinkedIn. sending out emails from Apollo and things like that. It was very manual. Our whole process was very manual.
Yeah, very manual.
But once we figured out the message that worked, and it was a couple small tweaks that we made to the message that really made it take off, that's when we started taking the message, started putting in paid advertising, which total game changer. Because the beauty of LinkedIn is you get to test your marketing kind of for free without the ad spend, without burning through a bunch of cash on ads and setting up funnels and all that stuff. It's a very easy way to, number one, validate a message, get the message working, right? Tweak the message, refine the message. You get some clients along the way too. But then you can take that winning message and say, okay, this is the message that resonates really well with my audience. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to blast it out on the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? And it's not just for paid ads. It's like, all right, what are the core things that your clients are looking for, right? You take that and you put it into content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those different things. It all stems out from what we do here. One of our biggest clients, the one I showed you, the $113 million man at the beginning of this presentation, he puts out videos every week. And him and I sit down every once in a while. And we'll talk about, what are the clients looking for? What are the prospects looking for? And it always goes back to the pain points that we talked about in that very first call, right? We talk about tax exposure around the exit, talk about when is the right time to sell my business? Is 2024 the right year to sell my business? Is 2025 the right year to sell my business, right? Those are just, post-transaction proceeds. Where should I invest them? Do I start another business? All these questions are floating around the prospect's mind who's looking to sell their business. And that's all around the content that he's putting out. And I always say this too, content for LinkedIn is very supplemental. It's not exactly, what's going to drive a lot of growth for a lot of folks. It's like SEO. It's a long-term game. You got to put out tons and tons of content. But if you don't have a good strategy for direct outreach, content's kind of, it's just sitting there, right? You have to have a really good strategy. You have to really have a really big audience too. I always tell people it's like, you better be like Grant Cardone or Gary Vee. They put out a post and they tell people to comment. People comment. They just follow, right? For people like us who don't have hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers, it's like, okay, well, what's the strategy then? Just direct outreach and building credibility through content.
Yeah, direct outreach. See, years and years ago, what did all the advisors do? Dial for dollars, dial. Pretty cold. But guess what? A lot of guys built their business that way. They didn't have any options really, and of course referrals. And of course, then the U.S. Postal Service could send out invitations to a restaurant, right? So there's lots of things like that. But today we have the option to send a message, very non-threatening, non-committal, very low commitment on the receiver side, that is. But they can open up that commitment. They can open up the interest. They can start a conversation. Every great meeting starts with a little bit of conversation. And then every great relationship starts from the meeting. And so that's what we do. We're conversation starters, getting the right people, the right message, and then get a response. Get to a meeting where there's two guys look like this, just talking. And we do this all the time. Of course, you do it too, right? And then sometimes these meetings turn into a great relationship that lasts for years and years and years. And it's fruitful for both parties, right?
I just wanted to show you guys a little example of one of the sequences that we use that's been really effective, and kind of like going back to Adam's question about like following up, right? And it's not just about the message inside the follow-up, it's also the cadence, right? So first message goes out, I do it one day after. Some clients like to do it 2 days, 5 days. It's totally your call, right? I just do it a day after. If someone's interested, we're top of mind. So let's just send them a message, right? And our message is so non-threatening and such a conversation starter that it doesn't really matter if you send it a day after or after they connect. I try to give it a little bit of time because as soon as a message comes in after I connect, usually I'm thinking this is gonna be a pitch, right? But most of the times the pitch messages, they're long, like paragraphs long. And it's like, I'm not reading through all that, man. Like I'm either really happy that happened to you or I'm sorry it happened to you. I'm not going to read all of it though. But then it's the cadence of follow-up. So 3 days later, again, just playfully bumping it up, right? There's a way to do it. There's the right way to do it. There's the wrong way to do it. Wrong way to do it is use the word follow-up.
I'm following up. Oh boy, please don't tell me that.
Yeah. Like, no. And then the third one, again, the third one's actually a little bit of a challenge. Or it's assuming, and I'm kind of giving it a little bit away, but it's assuming
No, don't give that one away. It's a good one.
I know. I'm just assuming it's a timing issue. I'm just teasing it a little bit. It's assuming it's a timing issue. That's it.
Anyway, that because I see all these messages and I see when the replies come back, and a lot of them are the second and the third message, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of your competitors out there, they quit at number one.
Yep. And they also quit after someone says no thank you. That is the biggest waste, in my opinion, is when someone says no thank you and you say thanks for letting me know and just letting it roll. That is,
I wouldn't say it's the biggest waste, but it
one
is
of the bigger wastes.
it isn't a missed opportunity, because we have booked meetings with those folks because of a misunderstanding.
Or they just hit the no thank you button.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I'm fired up because we had a client who the person wasn't saying no thank you. They were saying, oh, not at this time. Or they were saying like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm the right fit for this. And they would just roll over and die. And they were also not letting us respond too. Like that's our job. And I was like, no, let us respond. Let's do our job. As you guys can see, I get fired up by this stuff. Anyway, the other half of this, by the way, if connected, we send in-mails. Now, what's the beauty of in-mail, by the way, is there's a lot of people with open profiles, and you can essentially send out almost unlimited. I think the max number of open profile in-mails you can send per month is like 800, right? Who's getting to 800 in-mails a month? I highly doubt you're going to get to 800. So there's a very big range of in-mails that you can send out for free without in-mail credits, because you get 50 in-mail credits when you have a Sales Navigator license. And then if someone doesn't have an open profile, you just send them an in-mail and you use one of your in-mail credits. So that's what we do, right? We look for open profiles first, send them an in-mail. If not, use one of your in-mail credits. And funny enough, a lot of meetings we book are from in-mail. And that's people who either didn't connect right away or third-degree connections. So I love second-degree connections because they have connections in common with you. But I like third degree because even though you don't have any connections in common, you hit them with a message first. They resonate with that message. They see your profile resonates. They'll respond.
So I was against this. This was a while back, and because I get stinky, really lame in-mails, and I thought, oh, Mike, don't do the in-mails. They're terrible. Because I get terrible in-mails, right? Well, he doesn't tell me. He starts adding in-mails to the campaign. And our clients start getting more meetings through the in-mails. And I was like, oh, Dad's wrong. This does work. Sorry about that. So guys, yeah, just because you get lousy in-mails, which is what a lot of us get, don't assume it won't work for you, because we've got proof in our system here that it does.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, not everyone can do email. And we've got a lot of our financial advisors and their compliance won't connect with the email. But if you can, we can add some more touches down those pipes with email, because our system will find and pull and confirm a business email address, and we get to send a couple emails too. Again, another great source. I didn't think it would work at first, but sure enough, in-mail started popping in my inbox from replies saying, yeah, I'm interested. Let's talk. So what are you going to do? You got to keep doing it.
Yep. Exactly. Well, I think we've covered a lot. Hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're tired of it now.
When you're having fun, right?
They're bored now. They're done with us. Hey, guys, any other questions? Any other thoughts? Hit us up before we draw this to a close.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had an hour and a half budgeted for this. I didn't think we were gonna get the whole hour and a half. I guess we're gonna hit it there, Dad.
Anybody still there? Anybody want to talk some more? Questions, thoughts? Anybody book a meeting?
Yeah, that's a great question. Who's going to talk to us more intimately?
All right.
I hope this was like one of the more fun LinkedIn Live events for folks.
Mike, you gave away a lot of secrets, and I think I helped give away some secrets. Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
We appreciate that. We really do.
You know what? I agree with you, and I'm not trying to be arrogant. I think we are the best LinkedIn experts, and the only reason I say that is because I'm interested in it, and I've looked at some of these other folks that say they are experts, and I gotta say, we know more than them. Every time I see them,
Dad, the funny thing is, the LinkedIn experts come to us.
sometimes they do.
We've gotten last week. I got 2 people, and one of them was a pretty direct competitor.
Yeah.
They asked us for help. Actually, both of them were kind of direct competitors. Now I think about it.
Good to see you, Adam. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you, Adam. Good to see you again.
again.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And it's, you know what? You know why they reached out, Dad? The message. They have the softwares, they have the tactical things, the LinkedIn, they know LinkedIn, but they don't know messaging like we do.
And I've learned a couple things from other people. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I've picked up nuggets here and there, but I've never seen anyone with the ability to craft messages like we do.
Yeah.
And again, it's not. I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back. I'm just being honest with what I see out there. Anyway, thank you, Brian.
Yep. Thank you,
Appreciate
Brian.
you coming today.
Good to see you again. I've talked with Brian a couple times actually, so good to see him. Glad you tuned in.
And everyone else, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you sitting with us today. It would have been pretty bad if we were just talking to ourselves. So enjoyed you guys coming, asking and participating, asking questions. I hope you found some really good value. If we can help you any further, book a meeting with us. Happy to look. We could talk. There's no commitment. There's no high pressure. Okay, we're not going to pressure you. It really should only be something to do if you want to do it, right?
I was gonna say too, if you don't feel like throwing your question in the chat here and you guys want to just direct message one of us a question, shoot us a message. If it's a more intimate question, right, about LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, do our best to answer it. But yeah, send it over via DM. Our DMs are open.
I don't know where you all are from, but we're from outside of Philly. And I know it's not this weekend, it's the next weekend, but go Eagles.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
EAGLES, Eagles.
You spelled it right. Very good.
Yeah, I did. Unlike the mayor, it didn't spell it right.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably saw that in the news, guys. Our mayor didn't spell it right.
It's not good.
It's not that big a word.
Yeah,
although you had a little trouble spelling today too. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. There's no need for personal attacks here as we're signing off. Goodness. I know where you live.
All right, everybody. Thank you again. Great
Thanks for
to see
tuning
you
in,
all.
guys.
And
we'll have to do this again sometime.
Oh,
we'll have new content next time.
You know what else we're going to talk about one of these days is our digital dialogue sales process. We've been recently helping our clients with sales process. It's not a referral. Okay. It's not a lay down easy person that's coming in with glowing recommendations. Okay. This is somewhat cold, somewhat warm. And so there is a structure that we've found is proven over and over again that we give you, and we actually dial in and customize it for you when you work with us. So we can talk a little bit about that next time.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's our $100 million man. He used that process. So
right.
And it's a pretty pivotal process, I gotta say. I gave it to actually got a glowing review from one of our clients today. She told me about the 3 folks that she met with, and one of them has 15 to 25 million in assets, and she's pumped about it. She took them through all the questions. She was surprised that it actually worked. So anyway, we're teasing it a little bit. We'll do another one at some point soon and go over the digital dialogue strategy for
Reveal more secrets.
Plenty of secrets, not just Sales Navigator secrets. All right, gang. Great stuff. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we will see you on the next one.
See you, folks.